Happy fall and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I am simply decorating for fall. I've had a couple fall crafts in mind that I really want to do before the winter months, and I am going to get those done today. So be sure you pour yourself something warm and cozy in your coffee cup today, because we are going to get warm and cozy in this video as we just get a bunch of fall crafts done. So I'm really looking forward to getting these done and sharing what I'm working on. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing that I want to craft today is I have this really pretty wood sign that I purchased from Hobby Lobby, and I actually showed you this sign in the Hobby Lobby haul that I did just probably a couple months ago, but it was a really fun video and a lot of you really liked this, so I promised to do something with this, and I found a really cute SVG that I thought would be kind of pretty for decorating for Thanksgiving. It just gave like kind of a friends and family cozy vibe, which is what Thanksgiving is completely about. And so I thought I would decorate it in a really fun little way for Thanksgiving, but I'll be honest, I don't feel like I decorate a lot for the Thanksgiving holiday. I feel like I decorate more for fall, and so my fall decor ends up just kind of being my Thanksgiving decor. And if I'm being completely honest, I feel like the last couple of years I've ended up decorating for Christmas probably 2 days before Thanksgiving. So let me know what you do. Do you decorate for Christmas after Thanksgiving, or do you decorate slightly before? Because I used to be like very adamant about not having any Christmas decor up when it was Thanksgiving, because I don't like mixing my holidays. However, I just feel like the last couple of years, I don't know, it's just been something that I have done. So let me go ahead and weed this SVG. I actually will link a little link in the description box of the video so that you can find out where to get this SVG if you like it. I'm just going to go through and get the middles. I've actually started, and sometimes I'm not consistent with it, but I've started going through and getting the middles of the letters out first lately when I'm weeding, because I have found that it just helps not ruin the SVG or I guess the vinyl when you do those first. And I think it's just because there's more surface area laid down. I don't know if that even makes sense, but it really has been kind of a game changer, because I think once you remove the background first, which you've seen me do in all of my videos up until this point, and when you remove the background first, you remove so much of that vinyl that when you go back to do those little tiny pieces, I feel like it's easier to rip up the entire letter. So let me know if that makes sense. I'm probably just kind of rambling there, but it has been working for me. So now I'd make sure you don't lay your vinyl back on your vinyl like I just did. But now I'm just gonna go through and get the background second. So this cute SVG says, "Gather here, friends and family." And I did miss a couple middles. That is kind of one of the hard parts about weeding the middles first, is it's sometimes a little bit hard to see them. So just get as many as you can and then grab the remainder at the end. But how cute is this? I really liked this. I thought it was really, really pretty, and I think it's gonna look really nice on this sign here. I thought it was perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and, oh, I did keep this and I didn't cut it off until filming because I wanted you to, whoops, everybody likes to text me. Nobody texts me all day until I'm crafting, and then everybody wants to chit chat. This is the wood pile. In the wood pile section at Hobby Lobby, it's called Whitewashed Sign with Wood Beads, in case you are looking for it. So it is a really, really pretty sign, and I like that it's all pre-done. So all you have to do is just find something to do with it. You could stencil, you could just do just about anything. So now I'm just gonna add my transfer tape, and I'm gonna opt for a clear transfer tape for this just so I can really get it lined up on my sign. Find the end here. Okay, so I'm just gonna roll out as much as I need, and then what I will do is I'll grab my vinyl, and then I'm just gonna stick it upside down to where the vinyl will lay on the sticky, if that makes sense. Pull it out a little bit more, and then I can trim away my excess transfer tape. So I'll just set that right there. And then as well, just as I always do, but if you are brand new and just catching me for the very first time in this video, I do link all of the supplies I use in the description box below, and I link it by project that I do. So if you want to know more about this transfer tape or any of the things I'm using for this project, just go down there and find the project that I'm working on, and everything will be right there. Okay, with that scraper, as I always do, we'll do the front and the back. Get that really good. And flip. And do the back. There we go. Whoop. There we go. Okay, so then I'm wondering how many people checked their phone when that little text ring went off. I feel like if I'm ever watching anything and somebody's phone goes off in a video, then I automatically am checking my my phone as well. Okay, there we go. Now I'm just going to remove that backer or carrier cutting sheet, and it leaves my vinyl right on my transfer tape, and just nudging down any of those little problem areas that want to come up. But that came off really nicely. Okay, let's get this all straight. And let's just do the best we can here. Okay, you can use the parchment paper method, which you've seen me do so many times on my channel, but honestly, I think this will be pretty easy to line up. It's fairly straightforward. So that looks pretty darn even. I'm really all about eyeballing, but if you need to get out a measuring tape, then definitely do so. So I'm just gonna lay that down. I'm gonna go in the middle and then go out towards the edges, and then I'll go back through with my scraper. I really like this gray. This is let me see, it's a Cricut removable vinyl, which removable is just fine for things like this. So don't be intimidated by removable vinyl, especially if it's something that's going to be indoors. So this is just a little indoor decor. Removable is absolutely just fine. And if down the road I want to do something different with this sign, then I have a removable vinyl on there, and that's just perfect. Okay, but what I was going to say is that it has more of a matte look, it looks like. So I like that because it ends up looking like paint. So I'm just going to go really gently. Whoops, come here. Little A. Always keep your scraper tool and weeding tool handy until the very end, because sometimes those come in handy when you're finishing up a project, not just during weeding. Okay, there we go. Oh my goodness, I love this. How pretty. I love how that turned out. Okay, so there is our first craft done for this video. Let's go ahead and move on to the next little craft. Okay, so for this next little craft, I found these really pretty greeting cards at Target, and it came with another design in the pack as well, but this had 25 of the same little style in it, and I just thought they were very pretty for fall. I loved this sage navy, salmon, and then gold and a baby pink. I just thought that was so pretty, but what I wanted to do is I wanted just to decorate the front with some vinyl. I love doing that. It's a way to dress up the card, and I felt like I was very short on thank you notes lately, so I am going to just decorate the front of all these cards with a cute little saying that says thankful for you. So I went ahead and actually pre-weeded all of these little vinyl pieces, only because I am using a vinyl that has a white background. So it's a white vinyl with a white sheet, carrier sheet on the back. So it didn't matter if you watched me do that or not, because it's hard to see. But I actually bought a ton of the Cricut vinyl when it was on sale. Oh, I think like over a year ago. So now I'm trying to go through it all, and so that was one of these. So I'm just going to put this masking paper transfer tape. I'm going to opt to use this for this project because I'm going to be placing my vinyl on paper. And I feel like this transfer tape is so forgiving. It's so mild in stickiness, if that makes sense. So I like to use it when I am doing cards or working with painted wood. Now the painted wood that I just did in the other one, I use a different transfer tape on. I usually, if I'm painting it myself, then I try to do this mild transfer tape. But You can use whichever one you like, but now I'm just gonna peel away, just like I did last time. I'm gonna peel away this carrier sheet, leaving my design on my transfer tape. And what I did is I'll link the font that I used down below in that description box once again, but with a fun font, I just said thankful for you, and you'll see that in a moment. And I thought that was a really cute saying because it's nice for this time of year, first of all, but second of all, I feel like it makes for a card that can be good for just about anything. You can use it as a thank you note, but you can also use it for, you know, a just thinking of you type of note or something like that as well. So I liked that it was a cute little saying, but also it could be, you know, universal, and you could use it not just for a thank you note, you could use it for just about anything. And I love having just little note cards like this all around and ready to go because it always seems like I need one. But how cute did that turn out? I love how that looks. So cute. So what I did is I have 24 more to go, and I have 24 little pieces here that I already put transfer tape on. So I'm just going to go ahead and work on those. Okay, my last one, obviously the rest of those were done in fast forward motion. I wish that you could do fast forward in real life because my goodness, that would be amazing, especially, oops, I think I missed a little piece. I'll do a little reverse weeding, but especially during things like unloading the dishwasher and doing makeup, or what are those things that you wish you could push fast forward on and do things in super, super fast motion like a video. I'll be honest, laundry is one of those things that I find so relaxing, and I know that that is definitely an unpopular opinion, but I just love doing laundry. It's so relaxing to me. Okay, so here are all the cards. They turned out great. There are 25 of them that I got done tonight. So now I have just these in our little card drawer just in case I need one. And again, I love that the little sentiment on the front is very universal and can be used for just about anything, not just a thank you note. Okay, I'm gonna get cleaned up around here because this drives me crazy and makes me a little anxious. So let me get cleaned up and we'll do the next craft. Okay, so for my next project tonight, I want to do a fun sweatshirt. Now I've done a couple of these sweatshirts in my tutorials. They are my favorite. You can find them at Target and I will try to link them in the description box below if they still have them available. But they're just a really nice distressed sweatshirt and I love them. So I just made a little, I saw this actually when we were visiting the pumpkin patch a few weeks ago. Someone had a sweatshirt that looked like this, and of course, being a girl with a Cricut, how many of you, raise your hand, have said, oh, I can totally make that? So I grabbed my phone and I pulled up my little notes app and set a little reminder that I saw a really cute saying that I really wanted to do on a sweatshirt, so here we are. So for coffee, this is gonna say coffee weather, which I just love because I feel like, let's be honest, it's always coffee weather, at least in my book. I love coffee year round, but the fall and winter, I love coffee 10 times more just because it has just a nice cozy feeling and it's just so yum. Plus the creamer options are on point. I love it when the peppermint mocha creamer comes out, and my husband actually buys me a lot of it because it lasts forever, which probably means it's really not that good for you, but he buys me a lot of it to last well into the springtime because I just love, love, love it. Okay, so I'm grabbing those middles. Now I do weed the middle second on the HTV because I feel like it's very forgiving and so much easier than adhesive vinyl to weed. So my little design says coffee weather. How cute. The coffee, I think it's DTC Barn Acre is the font in Cricut Design Space, and then I purchased this font down below and I will link it down below. So I'm gonna place it on this sweatshirt. I think it'll look really, really cute. I love it. And then what I did is I curved that top letter, or word, excuse me. So I'm gonna go ahead and head on over to the heat press, get this preheated, and then I'm going to get this on the shirt. So we'll get it all pressed. I'm gonna press it at 305 for about 15 seconds. Then I'm gonna peel up my liner and I'll probably repress it just because I like to do that. So let's go ahead and get this pressed. Okay, so let me go ahead and I'm going to do a little pre-press here because I want to make sure there is no moisture in the shirt, make sure it's nice and straight, and we'll get that probably for about 5 seconds. Let me fix my pressure here. Oh, that's perfect. And we'll just get that all pre-pressed. That's good. Bring that back out and let's do our design here. So I'm going to grab a measuring tape just to make sure I am doing a good job with lining this up. Okay, I really like how that looks, and I'm just gonna lay that down. That's a sticky carrier sheet, but because my sweatshirt is so hot, it doesn't really want to stick, so I'm just gonna give that a second to, there we go. Just get that on there real quick before it becomes a stinker. And I'm going to press, maybe. Oh, okay, heat tape it is. Let me grab some heat tape. Okay, so if you ever need to secure your design, make sure you use a heat tape. I'll link some down below, but it will just help secure everything and it will be safe for being protected against the heat element as well. Okay, I think that's about good. Oh, that's a stinker. I've never had that happen before. Let me know if you've had yours roll up like that before. It's certainly being a stinker, but we'll teach it a lesson there. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and heat. Okay. I'm just gonna let that cool down just a little bit. Looks like it laid down perfectly, and then I'll peel up that liner. Okay, just peeling away. It laid down perfectly. Now I like to just lay this back over and do one more little press just for probably about 10 seconds just to make sure it is really on there, and then we are good to go. Okay, so now I will just take that liner back off again, and oh my gosh, that white on this distressed gray looks so pretty. Okay, so that's how it turned out. How cute is this? I love it. Now, if you can see a rectangle, that will go away from my press, but I love how that turned out. It's so cute. Now, I don't do a tried and true, like 4 fingers down, 5 fingers down. It really depends on the collar line for me. Now, this has a very high neckline, so for me, this ended up probably being, oh, I don't know, maybe 4 fingers down from the top, but I don't think that those methods are really tried and true anyway. I think it really depends on the type and the cut of the shirt that you are working with, but I love how this turned out. I think it's gonna be so cute for this time of year, and I cannot wait to wear it while sporting a cute little drink as well. Okay, let's move on to the next project. Okay, so I am actually preheating my Easy Press. So if you hear that chime in the background, I am going to preheat my Easy Press, my Cricut Easy Press 2 for the next project that's coming up. But for this one, while we're waiting, I found these really cute, lovely candles. I love candles. I found these at Michael's. I actually ordered them for curbside pickup, I believe. And this is Autumn Walk, which I have to smell over and over again. It's so awesome. I love it. So Autumn Walk, and plus I love this really pretty green color. I think half of the aesthetic of a candle is what it looks like as well as what it smells like, but I just loved the green color. I thought it'd be so pretty in my kitchen for fall. And then the same, I loved this color, but this one is called Snickerdoodle. And of course I have to smell. I wish that this was like a scratch and sniff or live TV, because oh my gosh, I wish I could share this goodness with you, but take my word for it, they smell lovely. So again, Autumn Walk, Snickerdoodle, so pretty. Now my initial plan was to take off the little labels so that I could add a really pretty vinyl wrap on there. However, I started to take off the label and it was going to make an absolute mess, like an absolute temper tantrum mess all over this cute jar. So I decided to pause, stop, and I'm only going to wrap from here to here with my vinyl design. So I'm gonna leave the label on the back, which is actually just fine, because if you're gonna gift this to somebody, it'd be nice for them to know, you know, the scent, or if they really liked it, how to purchase it again. But I am just going to place this so that I can see the pretty design on the front, and then the label will be facing in the back, so I don't necessarily need to see the label. But change of plans, it's fine. It was not going to be worth the hassle personally for me to fight with those labels. I think it's just, ugh, such a waste of time. So I'm gonna grab some transfer tape. I'm gonna use this clear grid line transfer tape once more, and then we're going to wrap these cute candle jars with a really fun leaf design. Okay, so I'm gonna trim this and save this piece. And then again, I pre-weeded because this is a white on white, but that's why I like to work with Oracle. Their Oracle vinyl is awesome because it has that blue carrier sheet, which makes weeding in front of you so much easier, but also for me because I can actually see the pieces that I'm working with and the design. But you gotta work with the materials you have, right? So I think this is Paper Studio, which is the Hobby Lobby brand. It's pretty good. I don't mind it too much, but for a project like this, it definitely is just fine. So I'm just gonna scrape down the front, and then again, I'm gonna do the back. Now this design is super tiny, super intricate. It cut and weeded perfectly, absolutely perfectly. So don't be intimidated by that. It will take you a little bit of time, but it cut and weeded very nicely. So now I'm just gonna take my time because I am working with something so intricate, keeping my weeding tool handy in case I need to help nudge any pieces down. But I purchased a cute little pack of leaf SVGs. Let me grab this one with a weeding tool. Little leaf designs, and I will link them down below in case you are inspired. And there were more than what you see here. I picked, I think, my favorite 3. And I can't remember how many there are, but there were definitely more than 3. Definitely a few more. And I picked my favorite 3 and then just created a cute little design, kind of alternating them around. I'm doing my best to be random with my design. If you are a tried and true fan of my channel, you know that that's where I struggle, is creating random, you know, designs, things that are out of order, because my eye visually wants to do order. Okay, I'm going to, just because I'm in the motion, I'm going to do this as well. Let me see if I can utilize this skinny little piece here. I think I can. Okay. There we go. Aha. Okay. So let me know what you're crafting right now. I feel like this is a very awkward time of year. It's that time, well, it's not as awkward as between Christmas and New Year's. Everyone finds that to be just that weird time of year where nobody knows what day it is. It's just a weird little week in between the end of Christmas and the start of the new year. But I also kind of feel like after Halloween and between Halloween and Thanksgiving is for crafting and decor. If you just craft for yourself, it's kind of a weird time of year. Some of you may be starting to craft for Christmas already. I know probably a lot of you are, but I haven't quite gotten started with that yet. I just love the fall time of year, so I kind of want to slow down and really enjoy the crafts that go along with fall before I dive into fa la 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 la. Although I have to admit, we have started buying Christmas gifts, quite a few. Just some of those items that we didn't want to, you know, not be able to get. But that's the fun of this time of year. Okay, that is awesome. I weeded and came off so quickly. So let's go ahead and do this green one. And boop. Okay, so now I want to kind of put it where I can see that label so that I know where to line that up. And then you guys are really going to see this pretty design that I made. So I think right about there. And then I'm going to literally just roll and wrap. Ooh, I might have gotten a little crooked there, but you know what? You're only going to ever see one part of that candle at once. So scraper, I'm not too worried about it. I'll do better on the next one. Let's see here. I'm supposed to do a good job when I'm filming, right? But, you know, it's real life crafting. This is what goes on behind the scenes. We get crooked. Actually, that wasn't too bad. That's forgivable. Okay, let's see here. Let me grab this little piece and slowly, again, very intricate, but how pretty are those little designs? Again, they'll be linked down below in case you want to check them out. But I didn't do too bad, actually. That actually looks nice. So there's how I wrapped about 3/4 of that candle jar. And again, leaving that label behind. So I'll just face the label towards the wall, but I think that's really pretty. Very pretty and festive. Much more fun than a plain jar, and I love the contrast that that offers. So then I'm still enjoying the candle I did with you guys when I was crafting for fall back in September. I got a really pretty candle, and we're still slowly enjoying that one. Okay, that was even more crooked. Let me see if I can take that off. That was awful. Goodness. Okay. I'm trying to be a professional here, but let's see here. Let's see if I can get that better. Okay, much better. Oh gosh. Okay, so then scraping it down. We all have our crafting. Let's see, what time is it? 8:40. Okay, well, it's not as late as it usually is when I craft with y'all. Usually I'm crafting at like midnight, but it's been a long day. Okay, here we go. Peeling off, again, going slow. So Nice. Okay, so do not let that intimidate you with the size of those designs, because if you take your time, then weeding it and doing the transfer tape and all of that is super easy. Pretty. I did much better. Good thing that came up really nicely. Okay, there are our 2 candles. They smell awesome. And let's go ahead and, oh, my Easy Press 2 did chime. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to make a front door sign for our front door. And oh, you guys have been asking how I make that pretty bow that I did in my Halloween tutorial. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Okay, so I'm going to use this really pretty ribbon that I got on clearance. Did I get it on clearance? I'm trying to think. No, I didn't. I think I just got it at Michael's. I don't think it was on clearance yet. I got another pretty one on clearance, but this is from Michael's. So pretty. I love this for fall time. Has some nice mint and then some pumpkin orange in it. So pretty. So before I do all of this, actually, let me go ahead and weed this out so we can kind of just see what we're working with. So this is just a very thin little wooden board that I got in, I think maybe a 3 or 4 pack from Hobby Lobby. And they are really, really nice if you want to put this on a wreath. So I have a wreath on my door, a really nice wreath, and then I just place this or hang this in the center of it just so that it has, you know, the fullness of a wreath behind it. It's so pretty, but also it has a little sign as well. So I just love that. That's what I did for Halloween, and you guys really loved that sign as well as the bow. And so many of you chimed in that you really wanted me to, make sure I didn't rip anything. You really wanted me to show you how to do that bow. So I'm here to deliver on that promise. I'm gonna take my time. The reason I am doing a iron-on instead of a adhesive vinyl for my sign is because I want to do glitter, and I do not like to use glitter adhesive vinyl. I think it cuts horribly, weeds horribly, transfers horribly. I just don't like using it. I don't even know that I have any more in my craft room, which may be a lie because I can't quite remember, but if I can avoid it, I definitely do. So whenever I want to work with glitter, I grab HTV, and hopefully the project is able to do HTV, or else I just don't do it. So I am grabbing a gold glitter iron-on, or HTV. Those terms are used interchangeably. And I found a really cute design. Now I have done a Hello Fall design or door sign already this year, but I found this SVG and I could not do it. So I don't know about you, but like when September hits, I decorate for fall. Then when October comes, I take my fall stuff down and I decorate for Halloween. Although that's kind of a new thing since having little ones, because they just really enjoy the whole process. Usually I just kind of decorated for fall, and fall was kind of, you know, September through November. But then after Halloween, when my Halloween decor comes down, which was just today for us, I just put my fall stuff back up, or I craft a couple more pieces for fall, because I don't know, again, it's that kind of weird time of year where I don't know that I really decorate a lot for Thanksgiving per se, but I just kind of carry on that feeling of fall. So these insides of these little leaves are proving to just be stubborn, but oh, there we go. I think it was actually user error. Okay, there we go. And the middles of my letters, and then I will show you. Now remember, when you're doing iron-on and cutting it on your machine, make sure you mirror your image. So right now you'll see that it looks backwards, and you're probably wondering what it says, although it's probably pretty easy to determine at this point. But you have to mirror it so that it's kind of backwards, so when you turn it over, it's right side. Okay, lots of chiming tonight. Okay, here we go. Let me know what you think of the glitter adhesive vinyl. Is it just me, or it really is not just me. I have heard it time and time again that glitter adhesive vinyl is just a stinker. So it's kind of one of those things that if I see it at the craft store, I avert my gaze. I don't get tempted by it because I know I don't enjoy it. Okay, so let me turn this around. This is the SVG, how pretty. And then look at the glitter, and it's gonna look even more gorgeous after that carrier sheet is off. So I wanted to weed that so I could kind of, again, this is a sticky back, so I can kind of place it where I'd like, but I can also peel it up because it's not permanent until I press it with heat. But it'll give me an idea for where I wanna put this, which will help me determine the size of the bow that I wanna place on top. So I wanna kind of place it, let's see, kind of towards the middle there. I think that's pretty. Okay, and then I'll center that really good later. Again, I'm just getting an idea for my bow. Okay, so let's do the bow. This is what everyone wants to see. Now, I want to say I've seen this on YouTube, but I don't know who to give credit for because I can't remember who I saw it through, but this is how I've learned to do it. So you're going to take your ribbon and you are going to kind of get an idea for the size. So I'm thinking my bow, I want it to be about that big, okay? Now remember, it's gonna bunch down in the middle a little bit, so kind of take into consideration that. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to wrap that around a couple times so that I have a couple layers. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so once I have 1, 2, 3, 4, I am going to trim. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to unfold that and just cut it in half. Okay, so I'm just folding this in half, trimming it so that I have 2 pieces that are the same length. Okay. All right, so 2 pieces that are the same length. Grab my glue. I'm going to use hot glue, and I found this at Dollar Tree, and I saw this on YouTube as well to have just a little finger protector. Can you see? It's a little finger protector for hot glue, and I have burned myself so many times lately on hot glue that I just needed this, okay? And it comes in a 3-pack, so you're all set to go. So you're going to take your first piece and then just have the 2 ends meet, okay, and hot glue those together. So I'm just gonna hot glue the ends together so that they're connected, and press that down so those pieces are connected. Okay, then, there we go. Then we're going to do the same thing with this one. So just glue the ends together. Now, if you have another way you like to do it, by all means, go for it. This is the way that I just love how this turns out, and I find it simple. I don't know. I think everybody's idea of simple is so different, so it makes sense to me, but I'm just going to let that. Oh, that's so nice. This is the first time I'm using this little finger protector, and that was worth the $1. Okay, so I have my pieces together like that. So here's my little bow. Then I'm going to grab my little middle piece. So I'm going to have a piece that's going to connect the middle. So I'm going to have that be just about, I don't know, just eyeball it, and just about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 8 inches long. Those kind of look like inch marks. And then I'm going to fold this in thirds because this is going to be our middle piece. Okay, so we'll set this to the side. This is just our little middle. And then we're gonna kind of fluff up our bow here. So we're gonna layer our bow. So we have 1 ring, 2 ring, and now we are going to bunch it up in the middle where those creases are, because we're going to cover those little creases that we glued together with our middle piece here. And then we're just going to wrap the middle piece tight around the middle. Okay, so let me just add some glue. There we go. Okay, that's good. And you can use whatever adhesive that you like. I love hot glue, so I'm gonna go for that, but I'm just gonna bunch this up and then I'm gonna wrap. Okay, see how this is kind of starting to come together? It's one of those things where I think bows are kind of a hot mess until the very end. So you just kind of have to trust the process. It's gonna come together. And then just glue that last little piece. Okay. Bloop. There we go. Give it some heat. And now we're going to fluff the bow. Just give that some time. There we go. Okay. So now, here's our final bow, but we're gonna kind of fluff it. So we're gonna pull the top, pull the bottom, and then fluff it out. Now this is wired ribbon, which I think is so much better because you can kind of make it three-dimensional and poofy. So it kind of goes from like a little flat bow, and then you can kind of just pull some pieces up, pull some pieces down, and then you have your little bow here. So there is how you make that little bow. Okay, so easy peasy. Again, if you have another way you like to do it, by all means, I feel like everybody there's a million different ways to make bows, right? But I like doing it this way. And I always think it comes out really cute. And you can just keep tweaking and playing with it until you like how it looks, but I think that's gonna look really, really fun. Okay, so now we are going to press our iron onto our wood. Now I painted, the wood was a bare wood, just like this, and I painted it with my favorite chalk paint that y'all know, and I'll link it down below in case you don't, but let me grab some parchment paper. Okay, so I am just going to place my design where I'd like it. Again, you can grab your measuring tape if you'd like. I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. And then I'm gonna put my bow just here for a second, just so I can see that I do like where that is. I think that looks nice. Okay, so once I have that on there, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press this, and I'm gonna press it at 300 degrees for 40 seconds. So I'm gonna bring my press over, and I'm gonna start the countdown. So 300 degrees for 40 seconds. Okay, now I'm just gonna go ahead and slowly peel away the liner. I noticed there was a little bit right there that didn't lay down, but I think that's it. Yes, it was just right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to grab all of my things again, and I'm gonna repress right here. That way we can just get a little bit more heat on that little vine. Just needed a little bit more to lay down. So I'm probably gonna do maybe 10 seconds, maybe 10 or 15. That'll do the trick. So now I'll just let that cool once more, and I'll peel it up. Okay, there we go. It laid down perfectly that time. Okay, so we're all set. Now we can attach our bow. Before I attach my bow, I am going to do the back. So I'm going to use, you can use anything you'd like. I'm just gonna use this, I think it is it says metallic cord, and I've had this from another project, but it's like a little leather cord, and I'm just gonna use this on the back to give me something to hang my little sign on. So just see how much I need. I need a little bit more than I thought last time. So I'm gonna turn this around. I'm kind of gonna get an idea of where I need it. There we go. And what I'll do is move this over, apply all of my hot glue. Need some more glue. Lay that down, and I'll grab some more glue. Okay, there we go. Got my little trusty finger protector here. I'm loving that. And then I'm just gonna add some to the top just to really secure it. Let that dry. Okay, there we go. We'll give that a minute and we'll attach our bow. While I was looking for ribbon, this is the ribbon that I found on clearance at Michael's. Isn't that pretty? I originally was going to use this for fall. I really love a mint color. Again, I really like the mint with the burnt orange. I think that's so pretty. But I found this and liked this as well, so we're going to do that. But there we go. Just letting that set, and then I'm going to add the bow. So in hindsight, what I'm going to do is I have this really pretty piece of orange wool felt that I have, and I've used this to make felt flowers. If you want to see that tutorial, then go ahead and check out the link that I put in the top right corner of this video. I'll link it for you, but I'm going to finish off the back just so it kind of looks nice and polished. Not that it's going to matter because it's going to be on the back of my door, but I feel like that's just going to look nice and polished, and it will kind of help keep my little cord in place there. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and then it's a good size. Now again, I have it going over a wreath, so I wanted it to be a little longer. And then let me place this here, and then just a good old amount of glue. Then we'll fluff that bow. So cute. Okay, there we go. Fluff, 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 and there is our final little wreath. So cute. So I'll probably keep playing around with that bow until I'm happy. I'll probably put it on the door and keep playing around with it, but here's how the final little wreath turned out. So cute. I love it. I think the glitter is just really stunning, and I love that it's going to probably hit the sunlight just beautifully. And I think it's just gonna be really, really pretty. I think it has the fall vibes, but also it will pair well with Thanksgiving. So there we go. Okay, so for my last project, I am going to work on stitching out a really cute shirt and doing some applique. So I'm gonna do this cute little pumpkin with the bow. I think that'll be really pretty. And in a moment, I'll show you what fabrics I'm gonna use. I think this is a really pretty sage green shirt, and I think it's perfect for fall. So before I put my fabric, I already did put the stabilizer on the back of my shirt. So I have a layer of poly mesh, and that is a cutaway, and then I have a tearaway layered on top of that. And if you need help seeing how I do my or how I stabilize my shirts, be sure to check out my video on my back to school shirts, because I show you every step in that video, but I just sped it up for this. So I'm going to take the inside of my hoop. I'm going to use my mighty hoop, and I'm just going to place it inside my shirt and get it where I'd like really quickly. I'm also going to take my design, and I just printed it off from Embroidery, and I'm just going to place it on my shirt so that I know where it needs to be. So that looks good to me. And now I can determine where I need my hoop based on where my design is going to be. Okay, so the inside of the hoop is in there. Make sure it's nice and straight. I'm just using a Cat and Jack shirt that you can find at Target. I have stitched quite a bit of applique on these shirts, and they work just fine. Okay, then I'm going to take my mighty hoop and just hoop it just like that. Super, super easy. And I'm going to go ahead and really quickly make sure that that is, I'm actually going to rehoop that. That doesn't seem as tight as I'd want it. So it's easier to stop now and rehoop than to have it not stitch out nice. Okay, I already placed my hoop onto my machine just to get it out of the way, and now I'm going to go ahead and get some Heat and Bond light. Oh my goodness, I'm getting sleepy. Heat and Bond light on the back of my fabric. So I'm just going to cut some Heat and Bond light that's a little bit smaller than my fabric pieces. I'm using a really pretty kind of fall floral and then a really nice polka dot pink. And I think those are going to be really pretty on this sage shirt. And I also have a little piece for the little pumpkin stem. I actually already have Heat and Bond light on the back of that, so that is prepped and ready to go. And now I'm just going to cut these really quickly and iron them on the back. Okay, so now that I have my pieces, I'm going to go ahead and place them shiny side down onto the back of the fabric, and that shiny side is just that adhesive. and I'll iron that down really quickly. I like to have all of my applique pieces ready to go so that I can just stitch out really quickly and I'm not doing any prep of material and fabric when the machine is going. It just makes for the whole stitch out to go even quicker. Okay, there we go. And then I set mine on a cool surface just so they cool down quick, and once it's cool you can just peel that liner off and you have your adhesive, which you can see is that shiny piece. I think that one might not be cool quite yet. There we go. Okay, now we are all set. So let's go ahead and start by doing the placement stitch. Now remember, with applique you have 3 stitches per step. So it's the placement stitch, the tack down stitch, and then the finishing stitch. Okay, so I already centered my design, so I can go ahead and take that off now, and then I can go ahead and do the placement stitch. Okay, so now I'm going to just trim around my piece. Now I forgot to change my thread out. I really wanted these little wispies of the pumpkin to be a nice pale pink, but I forgot to change my thread, and actually it'll be just fine because there is a nice blue color in here as well. So it could have been worse. It could have been a totally uncomplimentary color to my whole design, but it's okay. My other shirt I did do the little pale pink thread and it turned out so cute, but you know what, that's all right. It'll be blue on this shirt and no problem. So I am just gonna go ahead and trim around. So this is a bean stitch, so it's a really quick stitch out and it'll be just fine. Okay, now I'm gonna iron down my little piece so that Heat and Bond light will secure to the shirt. And I just like to use a piece of parchment paper just to protect my thread. Get that all ironed out, and then we will do the finishing stitch, which is the bean stitch for this next part. Okay, so I'm just changing my thread color. I'm going to do a really nice kind of hunter green, which I think will be really pretty for the outline of this pumpkin. So just pulling that through, rethreading, and do the tack down stitch. Okay, so now I'm just going to trim the little pumpkin. Now, because this is a bean stitch and not a satin stitch, the design is intended to have the raw edges shown, so you want to be pretty careful and neat with your trimming and try to get it as straight and even as possible, because with a satin stitch you cover everything up, so you cover up any imperfections, but with a bean stitch like this it's going to show your edges. So I just try to make them as neat as I can. And I'm personally still learning to perfect my cutting skill for when it matters. I feel like my cutting skill is good, but when I need to keep it neat, I'm still perfecting that. But I love the look of it. I love the raw edges of it. I think it's so cozy and cute. Okay, so that is all done. I'm gonna iron that down as well. And then the last one is the placement stitch once again, which will be that bean stitch. And then we will finish it off with the cute bow, and it'll be all adorable. Actually, I'm gonna fix just this little part right here, even that up a bit, and there we go. Okay, now when I put this back on the machine, it's going to add a lot of detail stitching. So it's all a bean stitch, but it's going to really, you know, accentuate the creases of the bow and just make it really look dimensional and lifelike. So it's going to look so neat at the end. Just trimming right over here. I'm not very happy with one spot, but I honestly think the bow turned out really good with trimming. So I'm getting better and better at that every time. Plus, all the practice makes perfect, and all the practice is making a really cute wardrobe for my kids. Okay, so that Heat and Bond light is ironed down on that last little part, which is the bow, and now we will go ahead and do the finishing stitch, and it's going to add that detail. Oh my goodness, look how cute this shirt turned out. I love it so much. And I think that the fabrics are just perfect for this design. Now, I do wish I would have changed this thread color, but you know what? You win some, you lose some. This is how the other one turned out. I did this first just to test out my fabrics, to make sure I like them. And I do prefer that really nice pale pink, or even this nice tan color for the little wispies on the side. But you know what? It's still really, really cute. And luckily it's not like a bright orange or a yellow or something that's completely not complementary to the fabric, but it's all right. So this is how the other one turned out, and I just love it. So that is all for the crafts that I did today. I'm really excited to see that everything just turned out just how I hoped it would be. I love this sign. I think that's going to be really pretty, and I just love this little chunky bead area up here too. It's just so pretty. And then more candles for me to enjoy. A really cozy sweater that I love. This turned out so cute, and I love the curve and the pairing of these two fonts. So pretty. More thank you notes, so easy, really fun to do in bulk as well. And then a really glittery, fun piece of new decor for my front door. So I love how each of these pieces complement one another, and I think this is a really good start to my November decorations, and I really hope you enjoyed this as well. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and I will be sure to see you all in the next video.